burnt out. How do we fix that?
First of all, we have to know what burnout is.
We definitely have to know what that is. And let's have a lit convo about it.
Yes.
Today, let's just talk about what burnout is, how we define it, and certain tools we can use to fight that.
We can do that today.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Welcome back to Lit Convos, guys. It's been a little while.
Oh, good.
I'm Millie.
And I'm T.
And today's Lit Convo is from burnout to balance, taking care of you. Tiana, break down what burnout is for us.
Burnout is a chronic physical, mental, and emotional exhaustion that is caused by repeated or prolonged stress.
Oh, wow. That sounds like a lot.
Yes.
You said repeated stress. By saying repeated stress, what does that mean? Is that stress on top of stress? Like I have one stressful situation and then another stressful situation comes on and I didn't deal with the first stressful situation?
Exactly. So it's stress that is continuous. To identify that, we need to know what the symptoms are.
I want to start with physical. What are some physical symptoms of burnout?
Being tired all the time.
Fatigue. So severe fatigue.
The inability to turn your brain off.
But is that possible to turn your brain off? I feel like our brain is constantly functioning, even when we're sleeping.
Have you ever been unable to sleep because you're just continuously thinking about the day or thinking about something that happened?
Absolutely. If I had a major stressor that happened to me during the day and I didn't deal with it, it most likely will come back during my rest.
That's right. And maybe not be able to get as much sleep or rest as you need to.
Oh, wow. Okay. And this is why I may wake up tired.
Yes.
And even if I've had 8 hours of sleep, because that's happened to me where I felt like I've gotten a good amount of rest. Wake up still tired, and then I have a whole day to go of work.
That is a symptom of burnout.
Oh my God. So what are some other symptoms besides getting enough rest but not feeling rested?
Another symptom is reduced interest in your hobbies.
Wow.
And another symptom is a lowered immune system.
Wow. So reduced likeliness in hobbies, like not being interested in what I used to like to do, certain activities.
Yep. The other one is a lowered immune system.
Lowered immune system. Wow.
So that's where your mental is affecting your physical.
Ooh. Because the two work together, the mental and the physical.
Yes. So from burnout is actually a physical, mental, and emotional exhaustion.
Wow.
Yes. Just not being able to bring yourself to do things that you like. For instance, if you like to go running or if you like to paint, you might start losing interest in doing those things.
Okay, so we have physical, and then you mentioned mental decline as being a symptom of a burnout. Yep. So how does that look?
I spoke about being unable to turn your brain off. You're continuously thinking about, oh my gosh, I have this report that's due tomorrow. How am I going to get that done? This is what I'm going to do. These are the steps I'm going to take. Oh yeah, I have to do this tomorrow as well. So you're continuously thinking about the situation.
That happens to me all the time. I have a slight OCD problem. So if I didn't deal with something during the day, I am going to constantly think about it as I'm resting, I'm going to sleep. Now, I am an educator, so that happens to me sometimes. Like if I have a meeting in the morning, I'll constantly think about what am I going to say in the meeting? Am I prepared? Yep. I wake up in the morning ready to go to work and tired from thinking all night about that meeting coming up in the morning. Ooh, wow. Okay, have you had an experience with that?
I've definitely experienced burnout.
How did you know you were burnt out? Did it just hit you out of nowhere, or it was slowly leading up to it? It hit you out of nowhere.
It actually hit me out of nowhere, and I was one of those people that had high functioning burnout. It includes the symptoms of burnout. However, you're able to continue to do what you need to do. You're able to continue your job. You're able to continue taking care of the kids.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And you don't even realize you're burnt out. You're just functioning.
A lot of times people don't realize that they're burned out. It has been found that at least half of all Americans have burnout.
You know, it's interesting that you said that because I feel like Americans, more today than ever are burnt out. I feel like it has to do with the economy, first of all, the inflation of prices. I feel like it also has to do with how our country is being ran right now. It's causing a lot of anxiety. It's causing us to make decisions we don't want to make. That's not us. It's forcing us to be someone we're not.
That's also that pressure. You know, you talk
Mm.
about peer pressure in school. So you have social media now, and people are trying to constantly keep up with the Joneses or keep
Wow.
up with what they see online.
And that's why I meant by today's pressures leading to burnout.
Exactly.
Because I feel like you naturally get burned out from being who you're not. If you're not a person that's constantly comparing yourself to someone else, society is going to force you to be that person if you're constantly on social media. Or if you're working in a field you don't really want to work in. You're going to be burnt out from being someone you're not.
Yes, yes.
You know what I mean?
I am a teacher, and it's no secret that teachers experience burnout.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's just an epidemic of today's society. Teachers are experiencing burnout more than ever. I had a lot of stressors on the job. There were things that were happening in the classroom. There were also, I of course had responsibilities and deadlines that I had to meet. That's not a rarity in us being teachers. With me being high functioning, I felt like, hey, I can handle this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I do. I want to say you looked very well put together. Like you would come into work, you look presentable, you would dress nice, you had a great attitude, you were energetic, and you were still burnt out.
Yes. That is that high functioning burnout.
I was like, so because when you said to me, I need to go home, I said, because I think I'm now it's coming back to me that exact time when you had the high functioning burnout. You mentioned to me that you just needed to go home.
Right.
Were you saying then that you just needed to get out of that particular environment because the environment was causing the burnout?
Yes. As humans, we have this thing called fight or flight.
Fight or flight, exactly.
Right. In my research, I saw that, yes, we do have the fight or flight. However, fight or flight is not meant to be something that's continuous.
Okay, so it's used for particular situations.
It's supposed to be for a situation where your brain is like, okay, what am I supposed to do? Am I going to fight this or am I going to get away? If you continue to stay and fight,
right?
We're human beings. We aren't supposed to be doing that. So you're going to hit that brick wall. And in my case, it led to me having anxiety.
Really?
Yes.
So is that also a symptom of burnout then, you think?
It is a symptom of continuous burnout.
And it probably falls under the category of mental.
Exactly. That is a mental part.
Wow.
The mental and emotional.
Okay. A lot of Americans and people in general are experiencing high levels of high functioning burnout, and they don't even realize it. You understand? You're driving by a gas station and you see gas prices almost $5. That definitely creates anxiety, leading to depression, and then you're still having to function because you got to keep driving to whatever destination you need to get to on a quarter tank, and you're like, I gotta fill up, and you're like, oh my God, do I have the extra $30-$40 to fill up my tank that used to be only $20 to fill up, right?
That's right.
So I feel like definitely you're not alone, and we're doing this podcast right on time because this is a crucial time, especially when we're dealing with mental health.
Yes.
And high burnout is definitely within that family of mental health crisis we're going through right now. Yes. How were you able to overcome that high functioning burnout situation that you had?
I was forced to deal with it.
You were forced to deal with it. Yes. Okay. Are there specific tools we can use to overcome that feeling of high functioning burnout? Not even work related. It could just be with dealing with your family, dealing with your relationships, your husband, your wife, friendships. What are some tools that we can use?
Utilize your village, number one. Your family, your friends. Your village can even include your doctor. I did reach out to my doctor.
That's good.
I was referred to a therapist.
Okay.
I was then referred to a psychiatrist. And I think these are some of the conversations that need to be had. People are afraid or embarrassed to talk about this, but this is something that is increasingly becoming more and more prevalent overall.
But you know, it's glorified to look strong.
It is.
That's a glorifying thing, especially in America, to look like we have it all together. but it's not glorified to let others know that you're seeking help or that you need help.
You should not glorify being stressed.
No, you shouldn't.
That's not a normal thing.
Well, every day before I start classroom instruction, my students and I meditate for a few minutes. And I noticed how that sets the tone for the rest of the day.
I saw a study about that, about how, if students meditate before class, it actually causes less distractions and interruptions, and kids are more calm.
Right. Because kids get burnt out too.
They do.
And it comes out through their behaviors. And that's something that I've observed and said, okay, let me try and see if this meditation intervention will help.
Yes.
You mentioned one of the tools were reach out to your village. Do you have any other tools?
Take a step back and try to identify what your stressors are.
Okay.
A lot of times we just go on our day-to-day business, just doing things and just saying, okay, I got to do this. I have to do this. This needs to be done. And I understand that. However, people need to understand that you cannot take care of other things or everyone else if you don't take care of yourself first. You can have constant, persistent fatigue and also not being able to rest. With me, I had both. It was crazy. I had both.
Wow.
So I would go home and I would crash for about a good 2 hours. And then when it was time for me to go to bed at night, I could not fall asleep.
You're absolutely right, because every time I would talk to you, you would say, oh, I just crashed, girl. Oh, I just crashed. I'm like, dang, every day, because then you have to think about it. You're not just a teacher. You're coming home to your kids.
Kids that had to go to soccer practice, theater practice.
Right.
Other things that I had going on in my personal life.
Right,
so it was like I'm off of work and I'm on to the next.
You could also be high functioning and having a personal life, such as dating and being in a marriage. I feel like I was definitely high functioning in my relationship with my fiance. I love him, but it was hard having to go to work, deal with my personal life, and still be able to function in my relationship.
And you know what? Also, doing my research, I found out that women tend to suffer from high functioning burnout.
Wow.
More than men do. And that is because women, we naturally take on more things. Especially when it comes to the family, when it comes to the kids.
Wow.
We're the ones that have to think about, most of the time. I'm not saying that dads don't do.
We ain't saying that.
Because we ain't saying that. Dads that do out there.
There's some good daddies out there.
That do. But most of the time, the mothers are the ones that take on more of the responsibility when it comes to the kids, and that's just it's natural.
Right.
We are the nurturers. You know what I'm saying?
And I feel like women also, not saying men don't, but I feel like we're also able to put on that persona that everything is fine, more so than men can.
Yeah.
We're able to present that, I got it.
We just have to, especially being a wife or even a girlfriend or a mother, try to divvy out some of those responsibilities.
Delegate it out.
Yeah, delegate it out. If you're the one that's mainly responsible for making dinner, hey, babe, can you make dinner tonight?
Right.
Can you go pick up the kids from practice tonight?
Or even if you're dating, you don't have to always come up with the activities for you guys to do. Yes. Sit back, wait for the man to make those decisions. Wait for him to call you. You know what I'm saying? Wait for him to do the legwork in that relationship.
My man to take control anyway.
So. Right. And so do I. We're not just making this a whole woman empowerment podcast, but we're just saying women carry that load, research shows, more so than men.
Let them pick up some of that slack.
Right, right. I want to talk about how high functioning burnout affects your spirit. It depletes it.
It depletes you. It keeps you from being interested in yourself.
Oh, wow.
Like for hobbies.
Losing yourself.
Yeah, you start to lose yourself. Like for me, I love working out. Yeah. I went through like a few weeks of just having to feel like I had to drag myself, to the gym. You start to find yourself just not wanting to do some of the things that bring you joy.
Wow. I remember when I was living in New York, I remember you mentioned joy. And joy is something that I just crave to have every day. I love joy.
Yeah.
So when I feel like my joy is being tainted or disturbed, that pisses me off. So I remember when I was living in New York, I remember one of my first jobs. I was so excited. It was all the way downtown. It was in Manhattan. I was like, oh my God. You know, I'm working in Manhattan. I take the train downtown. I'm walking in my stilettos into my office, right? I was working on 44th Street. I was working in media at the time. I don't want to say what media outlet it was. And I remember taking the elevator upstairs. I'm like, oh my God. I was just so excited to have this job. And I remember going to my cubicle and sitting down and feeling so empty.
Oh my goodness.
Because it wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. I wanted it because of the surface level of it, not because it was my purpose, what I was meant to do. At the core, I really wanted to be helping people.
Did that make you feel like you were enjoying it? Did it lead to you having burnout?
It led to me having high functioning burnout. So this is what happened. I was walking in the office every day, and it was only 5% African American. The rest of the office was Caucasian and Asian. So I was also stood out on that end. I was in corporate America, a young Black woman, and working in media. So no part of me was fulfilled. So I remember one time in the control room, the director was kind of yelling at me, and I broke down, started crying. And I just remember on my way back home on the train, I was coming from Times Square, just feeling so empty. Like, this is a dream job. People die to have this job. Amount of interviews I had to go on to have this job. I felt so empty sitting in that cubicle. And my mental exhaustion and my spiritual exhaustion caused me burnout, high functioning burnout. I was still able to get up every day, put on my makeup, put on my heels, look pretty, get on that train, go downtown, feeling high functioning burnout because I was being someone I wasn't.
Wow.
I was in a relationship that would make me very unhappy, but guess what? It looked great on the outside. Perfect man, perfect job, perfect city, New York City, empty inside. And I felt empty because that was a part of the spiritual part of high functioning burnout. We mentioned physical, we mentioned mental, but the spiritual part of burnout is severe.
Yeah.
Because that's when your desires start to feel depleted. You start to feel empty as a person.
Yeah.
So this is why it's so important, as you said, to recognize the stressors of burnout. Because if you don't, you can constantly be getting subconsciously depleted.
You can.
And not even realize it.
And like I said, not dealing with that, you will eventually hit a wall. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
We're humans. We're not robots.
Right.
So we have to remember to take care of ourselves. Physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. We have to do that.
And I feel like sometimes we need that rock bottom to hit, because if you don't hit rock bottom, how do you know if you're there? You got to hit rock bottom sometimes and not be ashamed to show that you have hit rock bottom. How do you get help?
Reach out to somebody.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can.
Oh my gosh, we just showing our age. It's okay.
I love Diana Ross. What you talking about, girl? Diana Ross is the prima donna of all Madonnas, okay?
Yes, she is.
Love you, Diana. Back to our regular scheduled programming.
Utilize those around you. Utilize your resources.
Yes.
And take care of yourself before you hit rock bottom.
And heal.
And yes.
Heal from that high functioning burnout.
If you need to take a couple days from work, do that.
Use that FMLA, y'all. FMLA is golden.
A lot of times it's really needed.
Yeah.
And that's what it's there for.
It Seriously. It really is needed. Don't take advantage of it.
Yeah, don't take advantage of it.
But use it. That's why it's there. And that's happened to me. Sometimes I would work, and I said, wait a minute, I'm replaceable.
You definitely are. Huh. No, we've seen it.
Yeah.
You are replaceable.
Wow.
Anybody's replaceable. You can replace yourself. There's only one of you.
Right.
There's only one of me.
That's it.
It's only one Millie.
And there's only one Tiana.
That's right.
Oh my goodness. I'm so glad we're having this conversation. Yeah. And I brought up healing because I feel like when you're high functioning, burnout or even depression, you don't even realize that you're in it and that you may need healing from being burnt out. Because when we're burnt out, we're making decisions that we don't want to make.
Yeah.
And that may cause hazard to our lives, and then we have to heal from it. And then when you realize the stressors from high functioning burnout, you get to live your life again. When you realize the stressors, like you said, now you're going back to the gym, right? Because you realized you were high functioning burnout.
Yes.
So you said, okay, start heading back to that gym.
I'm still in therapy.
Exactly. Yeah, me too.
A lot of people don't like to talk about therapy. I've been back and forth from therapy for years, ever since my divorce.
And I commend you on that.
Yeah, I mean,
I really do, because I have as well. I love my therapist.
Me too. I love therapy.
Yeah, and we talk about this all the time. If you look at our other podcasts,
it helps me stay sane.
Yes,
and a lady.
You said a lady. It helps you not letting others know, huh?
It helps me stay a lady.
It helps you stay a lady and stay in your lane.
Yes.
Sometimes, I mean, don't you get burnt out from being a lady?
Most of the time. It's sometimes when you gotta show that I gotta show up for zone 3.
But sometimes you gotta detox. Sometimes you gotta detox. You gotta let it out. That's part of releasing.
But
letting it go.
For the most part. Because I always say, I always say people are gonna people.
You do, you the first person I ever heard say that in my life. I never heard that phrase. People be peopling.
People be peopling.
And I said, why does she say that? And then a few things happened to me from people, and I said, wow.
Yeah. People are going to people.
Did you realize that when you were going through burnout? When you were like, you know what, people are just gonna people.
I think at that point in time I was going through maybe the beginning of a mini burnout.
Were there the people that were around you saying, you know what, they're gonna be who they are and I have no control of that?
It was a slight mental burnout of dealing with certain things and peoples and situations. And so it was like, you know what, at this point, if I didn't realize it, I probably would have drove my own self crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's that point where it's like, you know what, it's not me. Sometimes it is me. I'm not perfect, but
me neither.
But at that point, it's like, it's not me.
And you know what? Speaking of perfect, I feel like perfection has a lot to do with burnout.
Oh, yeah,
too.
Trying to be perfect.
When you're trying to be perfect, that definitely leads to burnout. Because I realized I was striving for perfection. Two big stressors of mine, two big stressors that led to my burnout, I gotta say this because you mentioned perfection, was definitely reaching for perfection and people pleasing.
Oh yeah.
People pleasing led to my burnout like crazy.
I've done that too. I've had people please.
And I think that comes with being someone you're not. You need their permission. That's what people pleasing, I think, is really about, is, do you like me?
Yeah.
You know?
Am I doing this right? Do you approve?
I gotta approve first. How about that? We're not gonna be perfect. I feel like there's still some people pleasing going on in my world. I still do tend to try and please others, but not to the extent that I did previously prior to finding out about burnout.
Yeah.
I don't people please to the point where it wears me down anymore.
Yeah.
You understand? Like,
not at your own expense.
Not at my own expense anymore. No, because if I was a people pleaser, I would still be in that cubicle in New York City trying to please directors and supervisors that I don't care to please. You know what I'm saying? My people pleasing now is just coming from respect. I respect my supervisors at work. I respect my coworkers. I'm not going to look at that as people pleasing. I'm just going to look at that as respect.
Yeah.
But I no longer need anyone's permission to be who I am.
Yeah.
And perfection is another one, leading to the burnout. I think also a lot of Americans experience, especially that perfect mom, perfect wife, perfect friend, perfect sister.
Yep.
This is a great conversation because I feel like, too, we're in a world where mental health is valued.
Yeah.
This has been a great convo.
Yes.
It has been very litty. We went over from burnout to balance, the symptoms of burnout, and that balance looks like certain tools that you can use to help with that burnout. We mentioned the spiritual aspect, the mental aspect, and the physical and emotional. And above all that, you want to heal.
Yes.
And live also while you're healing. Don't wait until everything is figured out and then say, okay, now it's time to live.
Do not let life pass you by. Do not just live for performing a job. Yes, you need to take care of your family and kids, but don't let that just be the only thing that you do. Yeah.
Don't live to perform, because I feel like right now people are just performing. They're not living. You know what I mean? I don't want to be a performer. I want to be a human being that lives life.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
We're having a human experience in these bodies, so experience it.
Oh yeah, I love that
capacity.
A human experience in this body.
I think we are here to live life. It's not going to always be peaches and cream, but
right,
the things that you can control and the things that you can make good for yourself, strive to do that.
And stop acting like we're on a stage all the time. Lights, camera, action.
Yeah.
Get that camera, or for me. Well, not literally, not this camera.
Not now.
But you know what I'm saying? I go to work, lights, camera, action. I'm in my relationship, lights, camera, action. I'm a mother, lights, camera, action. You know what? No, human experience action. I love that. Well, Tiana, this has been a great podcast. I feel less burnout after having this conversation.
Me too.
And I hope they do as well. Remember, guys, your 3 resets: your physical reset, your mental reset, and your spiritual reset. Tiana, thank you for your expertise and your research.
Thank you.
Everything has been researched. Oh, I appreciate it.
And we appreciate you guys for tuning in.
We appreciate you. Thanks for joining in on the Lit Convo.
Yeah.
And we will see you soon.
Yes.